Welcome to the Election Integrity Training by Carolina Public Press. This training is made possible by a Solutions Journalism Network grant. And the focus of that grant is to identify problems with election integrity in North Carolina, but also specifically to identify solutions that can be put in play for the 2020 election cycle. Carolina Public Press was established in North Carolina in 2011. In 2018, the newsroom expanded to cover the entire state, with a specific focus on investigating and covering issues that are undercovered by other news outlets. We believe that election integrity fits this mandate perfectly. When we say election integrity, we're talking about the security, transparency, and trustworthiness of election technology, law, and administration. That's a mouthful and may sound like a problem for eggheads or ivory tower professors, but elections are a local issue, and each county in North Carolina is responsible for running its own elections. That means we can't just have coverage that focuses on the State Board of Elections, though we've done a fair bit of that. Each of the 100 counties deserves scrutiny to make sure that every citizen in North Carolina is able to cast a vote and is confident that the vote was cast and counted correctly. North Carolina needs more than just our eyes on this issue. That is why we are doing this training. We want you, election watchdog nonprofits, journalists, engaged citizens, to help us keep North Carolina on track to running a secure and trusted election in 2020. National coverage on election integrity has focused on foreign actors like Russia interfering in the 2016 election. The news can be hard to follow and often feels removed from our state or even our counties. This training will get you up to speed on the big picture topics in election integrity. We'll break down the different kinds of possible election attacks and give you resources to do more research on your own. Perhaps more importantly, we will tie these issues to our own home, to the things to which our state and our counties need to pay attention. This slide shows that the North Carolina State Board of Elections sits above the County Board of Elections, but that foreign actors, as well as domestic actors, could be interested in different methods of attack. And so the focus of this training is not only going to focus on international actors, but domestic actors, and won't only focus on the entire state's infrastructure for elections, but we'll also look at how counties need to improve their security stance. I've been covering this issue since October of 2018. I began my coverage in Georgia, covering the Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp gubernatorial race. I then came back to North Carolina, where I live, and have been covering this for The Guardian, Indy Week, and Carolina Public Press for about a year. Now, I don't have a degree in international politics or cybersecurity, and the way that I, just like any journalist, knows about the information on the beat is that I talk to experts and have done extensive amounts of research on my own. I encourage you to trust me, but to also verify what I say. And for that point, I would like to point you to some resources. The Open Source Election Technology Institute, also called OSET, is one of my key resources, and I lean on their experts extensively. The Brennan Center also produces a considerable amount of excellent research on election security. If you're going to look at reporters, Politico's Morning Cybersecurity is a great resource, as well as Cybersecurity 202 from Washington Post. Any single reporter, if you're going to look at any single reporter, Kim Zetter, who freelances with Motherboard Advice or Politico and has written for the New York Times, is, in my opinion, the best election security and cybersecurity reporter in this country. You can also look at, and I strongly encourage you to do so, original source documents such as Senate Intelligence Committee reports, House Intelligence Committee reports, the Mueller report, and to do that reading on your own. It sounds like a lot, but it's often quite readable and is broken down in ways that even the layperson can understand. During this training, we're going to reference those reports fairly extensively. And when I do, I will point you to the right places to follow up on your own. And each section is going to end with a question and answer section, and the very end of the presentation will focus extensively on solutions, big picture solutions that we can have across the country and in North Carolina.